December 2013 was the year of political turmoil characterized with destruction of properties, loss of lives, displacements of thousands of people, division among the Splm, that is the ruling party in the newest country, that is South Sudan. 2015 down the road, it seems to be the year of peace that was signed in Addis Ababa, and 2018 finally seems to be the year of peace, reconciliation, forgiveness, healing and development in South Sudan, has been witnessed during the Splm 4th National Liberation Council that mainly focused on implementing the Arusha Agreement that brings all the faction together to the mother party, that is Splm. Today, viewers, we wanted to know, after this 4th National Liberation Council, what is the next move? Does it have an impact to the peace in our country? And we're joined by the Acting Secretary General of the Splm, that is Honorable Jemma Nunu. She will tell us what is the next move after this National Liberation Council meeting. But before, let's get to know something brief about Jemma Nunu. What makes her so unique from different other women in South Sudan?
Thank you very much, Brother Gore, for this opportunity to talk to you and the people of South Sudan.
Yes.
First of all, you have already introduced me. I've been acting Secretary General of the Splm since 2015, at the end of 2015 up to this time.
Yes.
Following the crisis of 2013. So I've been a member of the movement for a while.
Yes.
Since 1990 up to this time, and I'm happy that the struggle that we joined at our age of youth
A little girl
has materialized in terms of achieving one of the main goals, which was the freedom of the people of South Sudan. Yes. And getting our country. So that gives all of us who struggled, and I believe even the spirits of those who laid their lives for this country, happy.
Yes.
Yes.
Acting SG, now we are getting back to the topic that we called you here for, that is the 4th National Liberation Council. We wanted to know what were some of these agendas that were discussed during this meeting. In your own views, do you think actually this National Liberation Council, the agendas that were discussed, is it vital to people of South Sudan?
Yeah, definitely, yes. The agenda was very vital in the context of the situation we are in today. First of all, as a requirement by our constitution, the National Liberation Council is supposed to meet at least twice a year. Okay. Twice a year or at least once. Because of the current situation in the country, last year the NLC was not able to meet, and this is just a regular meeting. Okay. But specifically this meeting was focusing on discussing the issue of the reunification of the Splm. Okay. Which is a process that is started since 2014 as an inter-party dialogue. Yes. Following the 2013 crisis, which emanated from the split of the Splm leadership. Yes. You know the story. So this process of inter-party dialogue culminated in the Arusha Agreement, which addressed the root causes of the split itself. Yes. So since that time, and we started implementation, but in 2016 things fell apart again, and yes. Therefore the implementation did not go smooth. Now the process was revitalized. Yes. Last year, and it required that the National Liberation Council should be convened to approve the revised implementation matrix of Arusha. Yes. So this was the key agenda. Second, also, the NLC is supposed to meet and discuss issues of the party, including receiving the report, a report from the National Secretariat, the Political Bureau, yes. on the activities of the party. So these were the two issues. So it was important because right now we need the unity of our people, we need the unity of the party.
Okay.
So that together, when we are united, we can be able to talk with one voice, participate effectively as one body on the process of bringing peace to South Sudan.
When you people call the members of the NLC, as well as some of the governors who are representing, actually who are acting in their states currently, when they came in Juba, they heard that this meeting is going to be for 3 days, and some of them came with mentality like, when you people convince in Juba, we are going to hear like a new SG, I mean the full SG is going to be in place, and the vacancies, actually they talking about the structure to ensure that the vacancies in the SPLM has to be fulfilled. But when some of them came at Freedom Hall, it was different, and it's like it beat attention of people that are like, why? And it didn't went on like it was supposed to be. So what went wrong, or what went good during that time?
Yeah, as I said, the main agenda was to approve, to endorse the implementation matrix.
Yes.
And this was achieved.
Okay.
Second, we were also supposed to look at the vacancies we are talking about. As you all know, the Secretary General of the SPLM is supposed to be here, but he has decided to stay in exile, and that's why I have been acting.
Yes.
And the chairman of the party has really tried his best.
Yes.
To ensure that those comrades who left, who are part of the Arusha Agreement, should come back.
Yes.
And join the party and work together.
Okay.
But again, during this time, the chairman of the party, Comrade Salva Kiir Mayardit, who is our president of the republic, invited all these groups.
Yes.
But unfortunately, some could not come. Some could not come. Of course, the former detainees group were represented by 2 members who are here.
Okay.
But those who are in exile were not able to come. So we decided to give another opportunity for them to come, because they said, there was some miscommunication.
Okay.
If they were given more time, they will be able to come.
Okay.
So we decided to give them a chance, because we don't want to look like we are chasing our members away. We want to allow them to come in as much as possible, because what we need is all of us to come on board, look for solutions to solve our problem.
Yes.
As you heard from the statement of our chairman, President Salva Kiir Mayardit, His Excellency, he actually said it is not in our culture as a party that we chase away our members.
Yes.
In the past, splits have occurred.
Yes.
But we tried our best to also reconcile and bring people on board. So again, even this time, he still has this spirit that let us give chance for those who are outside to come. And if they decide on their own not to come, it will not be from the leadership of the SPLM that they are chased away. Okay. But if they decide on their own, then that will be their own decision. And everybody will know that they have made their decision, and therefore SPLM will have to move on.
First of all, congratulations, because the SPLM-IO, under the leadership of First Vice President, already joined the SPLM, and I'm sure last time I heard you saying, now I'm not going to call different name, I will just call people comrades. How was that situation to you?
Yeah, thank you very much. As I said, we are about the unity, we are about the reconciliation as South Sudanese.
Yes.
Of course, this was one of the success of the meeting. The matrix was endorsed, and then the other faction of the SPLM-IO declared their membership to the SPLM and dissolved their structures, this is good. This is good for us as South Sudanese. It's good for us as SPLM. And therefore, we are also calling upon those who are not yet here to join the process of unification and the process of reconciliation so that we can move forward.
SG, what does this mean towards this process of peace in South Sudan? Does this fourth National Liberation Council meeting, does it have great role towards the peace or attainment of peace in South Sudan?
For sure it has. This meeting is important because it actually brings together all the leaders, most of the leaders, those here in Juba, those in the States, and to talk about how we can come together and collectively find a solution of our problems. Again, if you can go back to the history of this crisis,
yes,
the crisis came about as a result of the split within the top leadership of the Splm, which is definitely over power struggle.
Yes.
And also, again, it is it came about due to the fact that some of our members do not respect the constitution, because our constitution, the constitution of the party, even the constitution of the country,
yes,
is very clear in terms of how power is transferred.
Yes.
So there's people who are in a hurry to get into leadership. They are not patient. And that is why the disagreement came about and caused this conflict.
Yes.
So it is just logical that if these people come together again, then of course our people will be united.
Yes.
Because now our people are divided along that division.
Yes.
The same population divided along the Splm mainstream, the FDs, the IOs, and so on.
Yes.
So you can see, if today the top leadership is coming together, our people generally will also come together, and we will be able even to participate in the high revitalization process with one thinking, with one vision for our country, with one interest.
Yes.
Because now when there are different groups, they go and sit in Addis, and everybody argues, based on his or her own interest.
Yes.
But if you have one interest, what will prevent us from finding a solution, an amicable solution to the problem in South Sudan?
Okay.
Yeah.
Viewers and listeners of SSBC, we will be going for a short break and pick up from there. Please do stay tuned. We'll talk more about this topic.
The Round Table Show is a platform where we discuss topical issues that affect the nation. We engage our guests in hard questions and get their inside views on the matter. Join us on the Round Table Show on SSBC. This is Round Table Show, the voice for the voiceless.
Hello viewers and listeners of SSBC, welcome back from that short break. We are still joined by the Acting Secretary General of the Splm, that is Honorable Jemma Nunu, who is telling us the inside views about the 4th National Liberation Council meeting that took place. Of course, people say, and the leadership of the Splm is saying, that this is the way forward for peace in South Sudan. SG, you just said that now when the party members come together, finally with one interest, peace will be attained in our country, South Sudan. People are saying, and this one is what is happening currently, people of South Sudan are saying, when the Splm meet, when they are united, this is the song that is happening now in town, that when the Splm are together, they eat our money, they embezzle our money, but when they are divided, they kill us. How do you respond to such a statement? That when you people are together, and they took back to what happened in 2010, where there is embezzlement of a lot of money that were taken by some individuals. This is when you people, the leadership were together. But when they were divided and then things happened, South Sudan were torn apart.
Yeah. Of course, when there is any division, like what happened in 2013, it leads to war,
yes,
to conflict and suffering and death. But when people are together, they can do things together and succeed. When we split in, the Splm split in 1991, it led to a lot of fighting,
yes,
and death. When we reunited in 2002, we were able to bring peace to the CPA.
yes.
Okay? So even today, if we unite, we'll be able to bring peace.
But they say when you unite...
But they're saying that, they're saying that when we unite, we eat their money.
Yes.
They have just forgotten that. They have forgotten that when we united, we brought them freedom.
Yes.
They have forgotten that when we united, we brought them in the independence of South Sudan.
Yes.
We brought them their own currency. We brought them their own passport, their own identity as South Sudanese, their freedom to go free. Now, with the corruption, of course, the corruption is not the policy of the SPLM. It's not. Neither is it the policy of the government. Corruption is done at an individual basis. So that cannot wipe away the importance of unity,
Yes.
which in the first place brought us together as the people of South Sudan to struggle and fight for our right and get our independence.
Yes.
So the unity we are talking about here is not about coming and eat money. It is coming together for peace.
Okay.
Because when we are together, we can bring peace. You know, when you are in a post-war country, there are a lot of loopholes. See, putting systems in place takes time. In the absence of any system and strong institutions, like the institutions we inherited during the CPA, those issues of corruption are likely to come. But this is something that has happened because of the weaknesses we had when we became a government.
Yes.
But this will not continue. I can assure you it will not continue. Because even as a party, we don't tolerate this.
Okay.
But things have happened. This cannot be, we cannot be labeled as such forever, because we have learned and we are ready to correct ourselves and move ahead.
Yes.
So we want to assure our people that we want to unite to bring them peace and stability.
Yes.
And when there is peace, then the institutions will also be strengthened. Money will be put into services and provide and deliver service to the people based on our promises made to the people.
Honorable as well as SG, do you think the leadership of the SPLM or people of South Sudan an apology for not putting in place all the promises that were during or after the liberation struggle? And I'm quoting your former chairman, the former chairman of the SPLM, that is late John Garang de Mabir, once said that the SPLM is a forum in which citizens shall have the right to ask their government representative where the hospitals, where the schools building, where the roads you promised to construct. And is it really happening?
Yeah, we have objectives, we have made promises to the people. When we signed the peace agreement, 2015, 2005 and 2015, yes. I think people saw the change. People saw changes from the time we came here to Juba in 2005, 2013. I think everybody saw what we did.
Okay.
I was one of the first group of the SPLM that came to Juba in 2005 in the advance team to come and open the office of SPLM to tell people that we have signed peace.
Okay.
I saw how Juba was at that time, and everybody knows how it is. But in the few years, the 6 years that we were there as the SPLM government, I think there were changes. All the 10 states of the former 10 states of South Sudan were islands. Juba was an island, not connected by any road. But during the 5 years, we were able to connect all the 10 states. This is one of the deliveries the deliveries we made. We opened airstrips, which were not there before. Okay. We opened schools. We drilled water, boreholes for people. We established even power stations in some states. So we were working. If even today, this war of 2013 did not come about, Juba could have been, we could have gone even further in our service delivery. To go again to your question, whether SPLM is still a forum where people can ask questions. Yes, it is. Because you can agree with me that the freedom we have given to our people to talk was not there before. Okay. During the former regimes, nobody would ever talk about what the government is doing.
Yes.
And people know this. In Juba, who could talk about what the government is doing? No one. But here today, we have open space, democratic space for our people to talk. That's why you see people even in social media, they even talk to the extent of talking very bad things against their leaders. This is not actually what freedom of speech means.
Yes.
Freedom of speech comes with responsibility. You have to talk responsibly, not to abuse your leaders. But it is happening, and no one has been arrested for that. People are talking freely on talk shows, asking questions on social media, sometimes on radios,
yes,
television. When there is a talk show, people ask questions. And now, even the same government of SPLM has, through the president of this country, has even given a forum, which is the national dialogue, for people to ask a question, why the government is not doing this or what should be done. Yes. This is still, so SPLM is the forum where people can ask questions. People can give their opinion on how the country should move forward.
Yes.
And that's why, as you've seen in the national dialogue, people are talking. On TV, it is there. They talk about what the president has done, what they want the president to do, and so on. So I can say yes, SPLM is still a forum where people can ask their government what is not happening, what has gone wrong. That's why there is this national dialogue.
With the SPLM revitalize itself to come back to the real cause, to the real promises, I mean delivering of services, real service on the ground, would you do that again with the upcoming peace?
Of course. The SPLM has only achieved one part of its objective, okay, which is the freedom of the people, getting their country, the self-determination. Yes. Independence. We have got that one. The next one is now to build South Sudan, yes, as a prosperous nation. You can't do that when there is war going on. Yes. That's why we are taking these initiatives, the SPLM, the inter-party dialogue, the unification, the high-level revitalization process, the national dialogue. Yes. These are all strategies or programs that are intended to bring peace. And when there is peace, we will definitely deliver.
You still haven't given me a yes or no. Do we owe you people, does people of South Sudan owe you an apology? Because whatever is happening is from the top leadership of the SPLM. And I remember, SG, there was one time where His Excellency, the chairman of the SPLM, President Salva Kiir Mayardit, even asked for forgiveness. Do you people still, whether SPLM, which is in or out, do people of South Sudan owe apology from you?
For sure, they do, because we agreed in Arusha. In the agreement, we agreed that we need to make public apology. We need to apologize to the people, yes, for first of all putting them as leaders. Yes. For putting them through this suffering, what they have gone through since 2013. Yes. And our president started this. Our president has, on several occasions, apologized to the public. We are waiting for other leaders to do that. Yes. Because this conflict, it was not the president who started the conflict. Yes. Those who started the conflict are known. Those who have gone out, yes, and taken arms against the people who have caused this suffering, they are there. But as a leader, he takes the responsibility. Yes. He takes the responsibility on behalf of the rest. to apologize and to assure our people that we are working hard to get our country back on track, to get peace back to South Sudan, and to get our people settled in their places, take care of their lives, and then move ahead with development. So, as you said, the president has apologized, and he will continue to ask for forgiveness from the people of South Sudan.
As we are concluding, SG, finally, with the unification of the SPLM, of course, it is, as you said in the beginning, that is very vital in achieving peace in South Sudan.
Right.
And you have said SPLM is still leaving the doors open to ensure that everyone, those who are from within and outside, come in, and you will still tell them, come and come and come. Let's say in case, you know, they did not respond to your call, the FDs and the IOs under Riek Machar did not respond to your call. What will be the next move?
Well, in the last meeting, we had agreed that we're giving them time.
Okay.
Within the next 2 months,
they
should be able to. We should be able to convene another meeting.
Okay.
And the next meeting, we'll invite them again.
Okay.
So this time is given to them to join us in the next meeting. And if they decide not to come, then a decision will be made during that meeting as to how we should move forward.
Oh.
You know, it's a democratic right.
Yes.
If some of our members decide not to come back to the main SPLM, it is their right. Okay. All right? It is their right to form their own parties and come back to South Sudan, register their parties, and participate. Because first of all, one of our strategic objectives as SPLM is to have a multi-party system.
Okay.
Because we fought for democracy. So everybody is free to participate, either within the SPLM or within other political parties. But what we don't want is for them to remain out and cause suffering to our people in terms of fighting, taking arms. Okay. You don't need to kill. You don't need to kill people in order to get into leadership.
Yes.
There is we are a democratic country. Anybody who wants to get leadership position should come, register a party, convince the people of his objectives, what he can do for the people, and go for elections. The people of South Sudan, through the ballot box, will choose the leader that they want to rule them.
All right. Finally, your last message, SG, as we conclude. What will you tell your members, the SPLM members, those who are in and outside? What are you telling them as we finish this forum?
Yeah, what I can tell our people is that they should put the country first.
Okay.
Let's put the country first. We put our people first. The country and the people should be the center of all what we are doing.
Yes.
And we are committed to unite our people.
Yes.
We are committed to bring the war to an end. We are committed to bring peace back to South Sudan. Okay. So the SPLM calls upon all of them to come.
Okay.
And we have to move ahead. We have to forget about the past.
Okay.
Because we cannot be held hostages of the past.
Okay.
We have to put the past behind and forge the future.
Okay.
That is the way forward. So those who have their country at heart should put down guns, come. There is an opportunity given through the high-level revitalization, where they can come and present their issues.
Yes.
And then we sign an agreement and come home.
Yes.
Come home, we establish our parties, or those who want to come back to SPLM, they come, and then we prepare for elections.
Yes.
Through elections, we select the leaders. And then whoever wins should lead the country.
Yes.
So that our people can be in peace. Our people don't want much from us. What they want is stability. They need peace. They need to be free to move about their work, to do their businesses, and lead their lives. But now they cannot do this because of few individuals that have caused this untold suffering to the people.
All right.
But as SPLM, we want to assure our people that we are working hard to get peace back to South Sudan.
All right, our viewers and listeners of FSBC, that has finally brought us to the end of our round table show. You heard it all from the Acting Secretary General of the Splm. Splm is still leave the doors open. If you're in and out, please still come in. And they say they are now ready to embrace each other, to forgive each other. Forget the past and let's focus ahead and look on the future and put the interests of the people of South Sudan ahead of all our interests. And South Sudan will move to dawn of peace and development. It's been a pleasure having all of you. Thank you so much for joining us, and we had the pleasure to sit down and with the Acting Secretary General, Jemma Nunu. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah,
God bless you.
We
hope to sit down again.
Okay.
Thank you.